Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amir Ridhwan bin Ahmad BASRI. Today I will present the subject, the role and influence Al-Hallaj in Sufism for subject philosophy and issue in mysticism. The content presentation about the role and influence Al-Hallaj in Sufism. Firstly, Al-Hallaj background. Secondly, roles and influence in Sufism. And thirdly, the evidence and contemporary example. Now, we can move Al-Hallaj background. Persian Sufi mystic. First, Al-Hallaj identity. His name is Abu al-Mughri al-Husayn bin Mansur al-Hallaj al-Bawdawi al-Wasiti. He was born in Shusta, Khuzestan, province of Persia in 858 Anno Domini. At an early age, Al-Hallaj went to live in the city of Wasit, an important Iraqi center for textile trade and Arab culture. Second, his father. His father had become a Muslim and may have supported the family by carding wool. Therefore, his father was called Al-Hallaj cotton calder, and then his name continued to be carried by him. Who is Al-Hallaj? He is remembered as martyr of divine love and a symbol of profound mystical experience who emphasizes a direct personal communion with God over strict adherence to external religious formalism. Now we can move to the role Al-Hallaj. The role Al-Hallaj in Sufism. Firstly, advocate of aesthetic union in hulul. Al-Hallaj is primarily known for his controversial concept of hulul, which refers to the spiritual union or indwelling of the divine lahut within the human spirit nasut during moments of mystical ecstasy. He famously expressed this experience with the declaration "Ana al-Haq" or "I am the truth" or "I am God", which many of his contemporaries considered blasphemy. Secondly, public preacher and reformer. Unlike many Sufis of his time who practiced Quietism and keep their mystical experience secret, like his teacher Junaid of Baghdad. Al-Hallaj openly preached uh, his intense spiritual ideas to the masses. He also advocated for moral and political reform, criticizing the corruption of the Abbasid court, which contributed to his persecution and eventual execution on both religious and political grounds. Thirdly, symbol of sacrifice. He deliberately chose martyrdom, viewing his execution as a necessary sacrifice for the community and a means to achieve total union with God. His ability to endure gruesome torture with serenity cement his image as a saintly figure who lived and died for his belief. Now we can move to the influence of Al-Hallaj on Sufism. Firstly, paved the way for later mystic. Despite the initial condemnation by many Orthodox scholars, Al-Hallaj idea had a profound and lasting influence on the development of Islamic mysticism. Later prominent Sufi figures such as Jalaluddin Rumi and Ibn Arabi reinterpret his experience and would upon his concept of spiritual love and unity with God. Second influence, inspiration for poetic and artistic expression. His life, passion and poetry become a major source of inspiration for Sufi poets and artists across the Islamic world for centuries. He is a central figure in works like Farid ad-Din al-Attas' Memorial of God's Friend, where his martyrdom is celebrated as the apex of Sufism. The evidence Al-Quran and Al-Hadith. The Quran does not support hulul, God indwelling in humans, but Sufis interpret certain verses to explain spiritual nearness, purification of the soul, and the experience of divine presence. Surah Al-Baqarah verse 286. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. The verse is used by Sufi to support the idea of spiritual nearness to God, although it does not support hulul, literal divine indwelling. It's also a hadith about evidence spiritual closeness, not literal indwelling. Hadis riwayat Muslim ihsan is to worship Allah as if you see Him. This support the Sufi idea of heightened spiritual awareness, deep inner experience of closeness to God. Despite the contrary concept Al-Hallaj against Islam Sufism, but they are examples of contemporary life application without understanding of hulul. Firstly, purification of the soul, tazkiyatun nafs. In contemporary Muslim life, the spiritual insight associated with Al-Hallaj inspire the practice of tazkiyatun nafs, where individuals engage in self-reflection, moral discipline, and emotional purification allow them to cultivate sincerity, humility, and a deeper awareness of God's presence in their daily action. Secondly, Islamic meditation and zikr practice. Modern Muslims apply Sufi derived meditative practice such as zikr and quiet contemplation, muraqabah, to achieve inner calm and strengthen spiritual resilience, illustrating how classical mystical teaching continue to offer psychology and emotional benefit. Thirdly, moral and social activism. Al-Hallaj model encourage modern social activities and scholars to speak against injustice, corruption, and oppression, echoing his commitment to al-haq, truth, by promoting ethical governance, social equity, and moral responsibility within contemporary political and social settings.
That's all from me. Thank you so much.